Y'all, welcome back to the channel, and today we will be discussing Vanderpump Rules. And I don't know, I can't stand the narrative that is playing out this season, where they are now trying to make Ariana the villain and to make Sandoval this redeemable character. And the reason why it is very frustrating watching is because if this is filmed like 3 months after Scandal, and we have Lala and Sheena who were the spokesperson pretty much when the whole of this went down. And especially at the reunion, we had Lala who was more louder than Ariana at the reunion. We have her basically now making it seem as if, like, because opportunities are being given to Ariana, she should not be upset anymore. Like, we're now controlling person's emotions. We're telling persons who are in a relationship for over 10 years, or at least 10 years, and you're making it seem as if your situation, because you had with Randall, it's is much more serious because you had a child with him. When I'm sure you knew this dude was married, but you had no problems basically being with him, then you'd had no problems flaunting the relationship on the show after it got out. And then you had no issues as well living in the household and basically engaged to this man. So why is it that because Ariana is not doesn't have a child with him, or because she's getting all of these opportunities, it's as if she should be good. She should move on now. Why is she still forcing this thing? Not because when your situation ended with Randall, you literally got nothing out of it. So I don't see, other than a child, yes, but you did not get any opportunities, no brand sponsorships, nothing like that, as how Ariana is pretty much getting, pretty much, as people would say, the world to her. Why is it you think that you are the spokesperson to tell someone when to move on and when not to? Because you were the same person in season 9 pretty much getting upset with Schwartz because he was playing pickleball with your ex. So what's the difference? You can go through it, but because you went through it and you know how you learned or grow from it, so someone else, you should dictate how they should pretty much move. I just scream BS at this point. We started the episode where we saw where Anne was being interviewed by Ariana for the position for her assistant. I don't believe this scene because there's no way, if I am working for someone who lives in this household and I'm interested in working for someone else who lives in the same household, I am going to pretty much go to an interview in the same household with my boss upstairs. It just doesn't make sense unless both parties are literally that clueless. But it just seems storyline. It doesn't seem like this shit is real. Like, it don't, that could never be something real that's really happening because yeah. So the whole thing that Schwartz, Sandoval pretty much screamed at Anne and he gave her some days off and stuff like that. Not saying it's right to scream at her, but I'm sure his trust may be broken because if I had an assistant who knows the situation and it's public knowledge and you know stuff about my personal details or stuff that I would not want my ex to know, and now you're interviewing wanting to work with my ex, I don't trust you anymore. I don't feel telling you, say, hey, I have this coming in or that coming. I don't feel, because I feel like probably you're going back and saying the same thing to the person. So yeah, and like, I write for you, but like, girl, what are we doing here? We got Schwartz who visited Sheena at her house, and seeing Summer with Sheena and Brock makes Schwartz feels like his biological clock is ticking and he feels like he wants to have a child. And I think you need to work on yourself first and know how to be a consistent individual before you think that you want to have a child, because this is not like a relationship or a fling or someone that you're dating or someone that you're married to where you can just easily and move on. This is going to be a child, so you can't just up and be like, oh, this is too hard, I have to move on, I can't do this. So I think you need to be more mentally ready than you just seeing someone and be like, I think like you want to have a child. Like, it doesn't work like that. We got Ariana who visited Katie, and they were discussing the whole thing that Sheena has everybody's. has everybody's location on her phone. She doesn't have Katie's location, but she has Max's location, and that's how she knew that Max was at Katie's because obviously she knows where Katie lives. And also, she found it weird, which all the viewers, everybody found it weird. But you know, she's gonna find a way as to explain as to why she pretty much has the location of how she knew something was off, but then tried to hide her hands. So I'm not sure if she put Brock up to it because clearly Brock doesn't give a fuck. So I don't know if that was a situation where why it came up, but then she acting as if like she didn't want it to come up because she's somewhat in a good place with Katie. Yeah. We then get Ariana as they were discussing like Lala's water event, and they were saying that she's inviting Sandoval because she's seen that Lala is literally going out of her way to understand Sandoval, which we the viewers are seeing that switch up as well. I don't get how it is that you and Sheena were on both podcasts individually and also together discussing the situation as if you were Ariana and you were going through the situation, sharing details, sharing little sneak peeks and stuff like that. And then when it came around to filming for the next season, it's like all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, like why is this all this attention on Ariana? You didn't have any issues making money off of the situation, which is not your situation. You had no issues talking about the situation week after week after week after week because you were getting those viewers in because everybody wants to find out more information. That's what's shown on the show. But then the minute that it's dying down, but you still see opportunities being granted to Ariana, it's like all of a sudden, you guys are upset. You guys are confused. You guys are saying that she's acting like she's, above it all. Like, it's just ridiculous at this point. We got to the James house. Again, we have to find out that, yes, again, we know James was near the airport. We saw where Sandoval says that Ariana was talking shit about him to his date. And we saw that in the last episode where she was talking to the girl that he brought to the restaurant. And, she's still upset. So you're now dating my ex. I'm going to let you know what it is. I'm sure she already knows because this shit was all over the world. But yeah. So we got Ariana then also telling the girls what Ann said regarding that when she done interviewed with Ariana, that's pretty much Sandoval was basically cursing her out, etc. And same times we again had Sandoval eavesdropping, and that's where we got the back and forth with Ariana and Sandoval, where Ariana was calling him an attempted dog murderer because she left some takeout food on the side of her table and she locked her door when she was leaving, but for some reason Sandoval allegedly opened the door, let the dog in the room, locked the door. Dog was in the room for how long? Dog ate takeout food. Dog had to go to the hospital and she had to pay money to ensure that dog was okay. And I see persons saying that why does she have takeout food? And I'm sure guys like, yes, why do you have takeout food on the side of your table? But we're not perfect. I'm sure everybody has had situations where you came home tired as fuck. You had the food in your hand. I remember the living situation that they're in. And she probably went into her room, put the food down, and just got busy doing something and just left the food there. And it slipped your mind. Like, we all have those moments. We all had moments where we probably left a cup in the room that should not be left in the room. Not saying that, okay, it's right, but let's just give this lady some grace. Like, we are all acting about World War III as if, like, say, it's wrong and how dare she and it's her fault and what, like, it's the same thing that I'm saying is this villainizing role that they're trying to put on Ariana when these were the same persons once everything broke. You guys were friends and you have her back and you want nothing to do with him, but then the minute that the cameras are back up, it's like, let's go over to this side. Like, it doesn't make any sense, and they keep forcing that blow up, and it basically exploded because they keep inviting this dude around, and they keep trying to force, if it's not Brock or someone else, trying to force some sort of conversation between the two of them. And then when it blows up, it's like we are all surprised as to why she's so angry, why she blown up. I would love persons to literally just take a step back from the show, and not persons on the show, also viewers, take a step back from the show. Think about it. If you were with someone for 10 years, this person you bought a house with, and you find out that a friend of yours that you considered probably your young sis or family or very close friend, and to find out that it's not like a one-time hookup that used to happen in the past on Vanderpump. You find out that this person literally was sleeping with your person in the house as well that you stay in. Also, remember, was having sex in the car outside of the said house while you are upstairs sleeping. You went to your funeral for your grandmom out of town, and the person carried your friend over to have sex, and this was going on for allegedly 7 months. And if you probably did not find the shit in the phone, who knows how long it will be going on for. And you are telling me that in the space of 3 months or 4 months, this person needs to get over it because she is getting opportunities, as if money heals everything. So she's getting opportunities, she's getting money, and you guys are so confused as to what does she have to be upset about. We know the richest person in this world probably at home, depressed mentally, going through shit. It has nothing to do with that, oh, I have a lot of money, so I should be good. Why am I complaining? Or the fact that, oh, I found a rebound boyfriend, or I found someone who pretty much is there. You felt like, say, oh, you need to. It's just ridiculous. And the fact that we have Lala of all persons, who was the spokesperson before when her and Randall break up, speaking about this, makes it sound as if where's the compassion? Where is the support? Like, and I don't know if persons are watching the show thinking because we're watching it a year after, we're thinking literally this shit is filmed a year after. This shit is filmed 4 months. I don't know how many times persons have to say it, because we all on the internet have to say that this shit was filmed 3 to 4 months after the whole reunion. And we saw how heated the reunion was. We all got heated when the news broke. So I don't see why, because it's a year and we are watching it from a year after, and like, big deal, we're portraying it. And I don't know if it's something that the producers need to put as a little watermark on each episode to show the time frame so persons can remember in their head, like, okay, this is XYZ time, but it's pointless at this time. We got to the other scene where we saw Brock and Sheena. They were discussing Brock saying that he needs a nanny because he needs a nanny to figure out his career. I don't know what a nanny has to do with you figuring out your career. If it is a situation where you already figure out what you want to do, and in order for you to get it executed, watching the child daily at home while Sheena is working or whatever interferes with you starting up whatever you want to do, then I understand that. But if it's something where you're literally just thinking of ideas or whatever the case is, or you're not sure what route you want to go in, but you need a nanny to take your daughter, to watch your daughter pretty much, so you can figure out what path you want to go in, that I don't understand. So I need some more clarity on that because it makes no sense. We saw where Sheena was saying, due to what happened last night with the blow up between Ariana and Sandoval, that Brock should uninvite Sandoval. He decides not to because it's like Ariana needs to get over it. Like, she can't be having that blow up, whatever the case. We had Sheena finally defending Ariana, saying like, what do you mean that whatever, like, you as well yourself go from 0 to 100 in a split second, so what makes it different that Ariana does it and then she should control her emotion? But I guess because she's a female, you're going to say that. We finally got to the beach day, which we all have been seeing in the trailers, with this line in the sand. Brock decides, they were speaking about flirting and stuff. Sheena is lost in joys of speaking about who flirted with who and who flirted with her in front of her husband. And I don't know what type of relationship they have or what type of comfortableness they have in their relationship. But you speak about John Mayer, you're now speaking since Sandoval used to flirt with you or whatever. And I'm like, girl, you just move like you're a single or something. Like, I don't understand, where is the respect there? They then brought decides, of course, be the messy producer's pet, says to bring up the whole Rachel and Sandoval flirting, which then ticked Ariana off, which rightfully so. That is was highly disrespectful. Like, who wants to sit and hear something so dramatic that happened for them? And remember, guys, 3 to 4 months after and then sit there and hear someone making fun or jokes about it. Wrong time, Brock. Like if you did that in your living room with Sheena behind closed doors or literally just the two of you filming, okay. But in front of her and in front of the entire group, like this is not like what James did when he said Sloppy Joe. Like, what are we doing here? Sandoval then also says that he told Anne to take a break. He did not actually fire her, but we do know now that Anne is not working for Sandoval. Sandoval also thought that he and Ariana would have a more civil breakup, and I don't know in what world would they have a civil breakup as Tom and Katie. Tom and Katie mutually or whichever came together, decided to end the marriage. You decided to cheat on your girl and in your house with the girl. She found out about it not by you telling her, neither of you, and you thought that you guys were going to be more civil. In what world are you living in that you thought this is going to be more civil? Ariana then says that no one puts Sandoval in check, which rightfully so, because whenever he does anything, it's more Ariana gets the blame. Why is Ariana upset? Why is Ariana walking away? Why is Ariana breathing? Why is Ariana smiling? It's ridiculous. So, of course, she's saying that no one puts him in check. He says his little stuff under breath every time he brings up bill payments. Nobody says anything, nobody puts him in check. It's just like smooth sailing, like nothing is wrong with what he's saying, because of course we know the narrative for this season is to paint Sandoval in the nicest light while we make Ariana look like she's more full of herself. Then we also have Lala says that it was the most devastating breakup, but it's like she's pretty much saying like it wasn't the most devastating breakup because I'm sure she thinks that her own is trumps everything, and everything in Lala's world is more serious and more dramatic than anybody else. And why is she so upset? Like, I had to do this. I had to pack my stuff up out of a house that was not mine and leave. But you purchase a house with someone, furnish the house with the person. This person decided to blow up the relationship, and you are saying that her situation is not the most devastating thing. Yeah, I smell jealousy. But let me know, guys, in the comment section below what your thoughts were on this episode. Please remember to subscribe to the channel. We catch you next week as we will recap the next episode of Vanderpump Rules. Right now, I'm just awaiting the reunion because I heard there was some blow up between Ariana and Lala, so I'm waiting to see what that was. But I'll see you next week and enjoy the rest of the week. Bye.